I know it's pretty late in Mexico, so thank you so much for joining us. A little bit about your background, Diana. I know that you're majors in psychology. You work with a recruitment firm, and then for the last 12 years now, you've been associated with DPE, which is also holds the franchise for extended risk and FinxS in Mexico. Is
Yes.
that right?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much for inviting me.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Diana. Quickly, Diana, I wanted to check with you. You have been working a lot with assessments in the last 12 years. And recently we have launched and introduced the Sales Competence Assessment.
Yes.
How does that fit in with your scheme of providing services to your customers, providing support to your customers? How do your customers like the tool? What is the feedback? Can you tell us a little bit more?
I think it's a tool more for a consultant.
Right?
It's a tool made for add value of your work as a consultant.
Right.
For example, I can tell you about one case if you want.
Sure.
What case that we have? No? One client asked us for training in negotiation.
Okay.
So we have a talk with the head of human resources and the head of sales department. And after that talk, we decide to apply the sales assessment competences. And that was a very good idea because
Wow.
when we applied it, we realized that the group of persons have a very low percentage in prospecting and in emotional disattachment.
Oh.
So that was like our first discover in the sales assessment competence, and we decided to change the objective of the training, and
Interesting.
we change it and focus in prospecting. Okay,
Very good.
and we decide to analyze more with the assessment, and we analyze individual assessment looking for high scores in prospecting and
Yes.
high scores also in the mindset,
Oh,
because
interesting.
yes, because perhaps one person could have low scores in prospecting,
Think.
but very high scores in the mindset, and that was good because for me that means we can work with that. We can develop that skills for that person. But also we look into the excuse index, because if the excuse index was high
Yes.
and the mindset was high, not that good, not that
Ah,
good. Because that means that we cannot work with that person because that person just don't want to do that job or don't want to do that activities. So we focus on prospecting, high scores in prospecting, high score in mindset, and low score in excuse index. With that information, we organize the group in two groups. Okay, the hunters, we say the hunters, and the maintainers. Okay,
okay.
and the maintainers. We focus in those groups. That was for me add value for the company. Okay,
Sure.
and
Sure.
these both groups have different KPIs. Yes, and now they are working like that. We have these groups with different KPIs, and now we are coaching the head of the sales department, and we'll see what happened. But we are in the process of following up what this is going to happen.
Wow. So that's an amazing experience, an amazing takeaway. So if I may just recap that quickly, you started with a proposal to do the negotiation skills training.
Yes,
You and after the assessments, you were able to change the objective of the program to focus
yes,
more on prospecting. And when you looked at the competencies, you were also able to bring into play the mindset theory that the tool provides, the sales competence assessment provides, and the specialty that nobody else has, the excuse index. So you were able to bring into play all these elements, not
yes,
only the competences, the mindset theory, but also the excuse index. You're able to segregate the groups into two, the hunters and the maintainer. And now you're even coaching the sales manager.
yes.
Fantastic.
Yes,
So, I mean, that's an amazing value addition to the client, don't you think so?
yes, I think so.
So,
I think so.
and to have they received it well? Have they accepted this situation?
Yes, because some people didn't feel comfortable creating new clients, approaching to new clients, and now they are more comfortable and capable to do this new job or new responsibilities. So I think the people is happy. We need to see the results.
Well, I'm sure the results will be excellent. Diana, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers? I know you have a lot of experience that you can bring into play with your background in assessments, but anything particular about the sales competence assessment that you'd like to say before we quickly sign off?
I don't know. I think that's it. You have to look to everything that, as you said, the competences, the mindsets, the excuse index, and also you have the analyze behavior assessment. It's also a very good tool to match
Sure,
and have more information of the person.
sure, sure. Diana, thank you so much for joining us. I know it's pretty late in Mexico. It's almost 10 p.m. there,
Don't worry.
and it's early in the morning in India. Really appreciate your time, your perspective, and very, very importantly, this beautiful case study that you have shared with us, because it tells us so much about how we can, integrate the tool with the needs of the client. Really appreciate your
Yes.
time, Dinah. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Dinah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.